Hi dear friends and subscribers of Cricket Happenings. Welcome to this early edition of the Cricket Happenings this morning on a Sunday. Well, this Cricket Happenings will start with the news that New Zealand, after a span of 12 years, have achieved a victory over India. And well, as I said, I'm just going to carry on from where I left off yesterday. When I left you off, it was Shikar Dhawan and it was, I think, Virat Kohli, it was Rohit Sharma who won on strike. And I definitely said, dear friends and subscribers, that the second new ball was the key. Yes, the second new ball was the key, because with the second new ball, Trent Boult struck by taking the wicket of, first he took the wicket of I think it was Boult. In fact, Rohit Sharma, when Shikar Dhawan and Rohit Sharma were batting at that time, both of them slowly carried on. Then it came to the new ball. The second new ball was claimed by New Zealand, and what a match we had. In fact, the second new ball definitely did the trick, and then the counter punching starting from Ravindra Jadejas' bat along with Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and then that went on. And that's the precise reason India really ran New Zealand very close. And definitely it could have been, if India would have won, it would have been the third test victory, third highest chase ever in test matches. But unfortunately that was not to happen. But definitely it was getting everyone interested. The match was really seesawing, I would say, because it was like an even-Steven situation. When Virat Kohli was there, India were 222 for 2, and from then on, when Virat Kohli's wicket fell, after that the innings a bit fell away. As I said, the second new ball was absolutely the key, and the second new ball definitely was absolutely proved me absolutely correct. As first Trent Boult came in and picked up the wicket of Ajinkya Rahane. That was the first wicket to go. In fact, after Virat Kohli was gone, Shikar Dhawan, as I said, one good thing to happen was that he ran into form at the right time. But as I also said yesterday in my last Cricket Happening show, it was very essential that Shikar Dhawan had to stay at the crease. And if Shikar Dhawan had buckled himself and he had gone on to make probably a double century, I'm sure India would have been home. But well, that was a different story, because Neil Wagner came in and produced a brute of a delivery to Shikar Dhawan, absolute ripper. The ball lifted. Shikar Dhawan wanted to get out of the way, but in doing so he had to actually really cover his face. In fact, he had to really sway away from the ball, but in doing so he got the ball hit the handle of the bat and waddling behind the wickets, taking the catch. And that was the big blow for India, because as I said, Shikar Dhawan was absolutely well settled at that particular time, and one would have probably thought that Shikar Dhawan would go on to a double century, but unfortunately that was not the case. But nevertheless, one good thing for India that came out in this particular test match is that Shikar Dhawan hitting form at the right time and getting on to 115 with 12 fours and 1 6. So that made the score 248 for 4, and that was the time the new ball was claimed. So Rohit Sharma and Ajinkya Rahane slowly started defending well, and they were playing well. As I said, once the second new ball was claimed, things started happening for New Zealand, and that was the key, as I said, and that was the very crucial phase that India had to weather if at all they had to really win this match. And well, that proved that New Zealand were absolutely on top over there. First it was Trent Boult who came in and with a real ripper, in the sense real good in-swinger, claimed Ajinkya Rahane LBW, Boult for 18 with 3 boundaries. So that made the score 268 for 5. Rohit Sharma, after tea time, the first over after tea, Tim Southee struck by getting Rohit Sharma to actually go and poke at an outswinger from him, and Watling took the catch. And what was good about that delivery, and as far as Southee's bowling, was that Tim Southee was using the crease very well. He was coming wide of the crease and bowling, so that was enabling him to actually get that swing going, and that was what brought the end of Rohit Sharma, the highest scorer in the first innings. So Rohit Sharma was gone, and India were 270 for 6. So Rohit Sharma's individual contribution being 19 with 2 fours, and Rohit Sharma was walking back to the pavilion, and India at that time were looking again. The New Zealand, as I said, with that second new ball struck with those 2 wickets, and India once again I thought were going on to the back foot. But the good thing was that Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the captain, was there, Mr. Reliable as one calls him, and Ravindra Jadeja joined him. Well, at that time, one probably would have not expected that, but suddenly what one saw is that Ravindra Jadeja, as soon as he came in, he slammed a boundary. In fact, it was a beautiful shot. He held his pose as he played that stroke. After that, Jadeja really started giving a real counter punch, and I'm sure that would have taken New Zealand by surprise, because considering that you had 2 full days to go in this test match, one wonders whether that was the right approach. But as Mahendra Singh Dhoni endorsed in his post-match press conference, that he thought that was the right approach by Ravindra Jadeja, because he wanted to really unsettle the New Zealand bowlers. And well, I'll be talking about that. I'll be briefly analyzing whether that was the right approach generally. But Ravindra Jadeja was absolutely slamming the ball. In fact, he sent Trent Boult for a 6, and then he really played a tennis, I would say, like a forehand. Really slammed the ball into the fence, and he was looking pretty good. And suddenly Dhoni also started hitting the ball very well, and suddenly this partnership for the 7th wicket was really posing problems for Brendan McCullum, the New Zealand captain, as 54 runs were rattled of just 5 overs. So basically what happened was India, with their counter punching, turned it into real T20 mode, especially Ravindra Jadeja, who went after the bowling, and he really took Brendan McCullum, the New Zealand captain, by surprise. And he started doing that, and that went on for quite some time, for 5 overs. It was real entertainment as the score galloped from a score of 270 for 6 when Rohit Sharma departed to 324, with Jadeja taking the aggressive route. And suddenly India were having it sort of, they had a double-digit score to chase, a double-digit score to actually win the match. And the lead was below 100, it was 83 runs. And then Jadeja finally, Boult was the one who actually got his wicket. As Jadeja went down swinging, he tried to hit a ball from Boult over the top, and Sodhi taking a very good catch in that, I think it was in the mid-off area, and he was gone. Finally, after providing wholesome entertainment with 26 of 21 balls, with 4 fours and 1 6, and India's score read 324 for 7, as Zahir Khan came in and joined Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Well, but what one saw was that Mahendra Singh Dhoni was not shielding Zahir Khan from the strike. In fact, Zahir Khan hit 1 6 and 1 4 2, and he was looking good. In fact, he was defending well, but he was beaten a couple of times. But Mahendra Singh Dhoni, probably one thought that Mahendra Singh Dhoni will be shielding Zahir Khan, but that was not the case. In fact, probably Mahendra Singh Dhoni had the confidence in Zahir Khan, and he was constantly going to Zahir Khan and goading him, in the sense he was really telling him how to play, probably talking about the technique as to how to leave the bouncer. And we definitely saw that Dhoni's words were well taken by Zahir Khan, as one of the balls from Tim Southee, one saw that Zahir Khan initially was struggling, but after Mahendra Singh Dhoni had a word with him, he definitely took this body away from it and swayed away from the ball, and the ball was neatly taken by Brian Watling, so by BJ Watling, the wicket keeper. So Zahir Khan definitely understood something, and he learned something from Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and Zahir Khan was not afraid to play his strokes, and that went on, and Dhoni was, one probably thought that Dhoni would be taking a single of the last ball and keeping the strike, but that was not to be. Probably Dhoni had some confidence in Zahir Khan, and Dhoni also couldn't, once Jadeja left, one saw that Dhoni couldn't really force the pace, and things were just chugging along for India, and but the good thing was that Dhoni was still there, and India's hopes were absolutely alive, with the score rating 349. But after that, Neil Wagner came in and had Zahir Khan actually got a ball to move away, and Zahir Khan was squared up, and a catch was neatly taken by Ross Taylor at first slip, and Zahir Khan was walking after making 17 with 1-4 and 1-6. India score rating 349 for 8 at that stage, and the target, as you know, was 407. But still, as I said, India were really breathing easily for the simple reason that even though the reason being Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the Indian captain, was there, but the only problem was that he was left to tailenders. Now, once Ishant Sharma came to the crease, Mahendra Singh Dhoni definitely under pressure, because he had to actually go and actually hit the ball. But what one saw was that once Ishant Sharma came, Mahendra Singh Dhoni decided that he was not going to take the singles, and he was not going to allow Ishant Sharma to take the strike. So he was actually refusing those singles. But what happened was, after that, once Zahir Khan was gone, the score moved on to 362 with Dhoni hitting a few boundaries. But Dhoni was snaffled by Wagner, as Wagner, who actually has done very well in this first test match. He has come into whenever he has come in for a particular spell, and Brendan McCullum has used him pretty sparingly, and Neil Wagner has really bowled very well. And Neil Wagner getting Dhoni to actually hook a delivery, which probably Dhoni trying to hook really didn't get onto the meat of the bat, and the ball rolled onto the stumps, and Dhoni was gone. And once Dhoni was gone, bowled by Wagner for 39 with 6 boundaries, definitely what would say the writing was on the wall that India is going to lose this match. So 362 for 9 when Dhoni departed, and after that it was all over as Trent Bolt got a ball to lift on Ishant Sharma. Ishant Sharma was caught fending at that, Brian Watling taking the catch, and it was all over for India with Mohammad Shami not out or not, and India had lost the match by 49 runs. So India all out for 366 runs, and New Zealand, as I said, in fact New Zealand winning the match by 40 runs, and also they were winning the match against India after a gap of 12 years, so that's quite some time, and I'm sure New Zealand would have savoured that victory. But what a test match we had. I mean, I'll talk about that. Let's look at the bowling figures now. Looking at the bowling figures, Trent bowled 23.3 overs, 2 maidens, 86 runs and 3 wickets, bowled superbly. The pace bowlers were absolutely superb. Tim Southee making good use of the crease, 23 overs, 4 maidens, 81 runs and 3 wickets. But Neil Wagner, every time he came in fact, what a match Neil Wagner had. In fact, he had 8 wickets for the match by bowling splendidly each and every time. Brendan McCullum brought him for his next spell and gave the cherry to Neil Wagner. 25 overs, 8 maidens, 62 runs and 4 wickets for Neil Wagner. Anderson 7 overs, 1 maiden, none for 22. East Sodhi couldn't really get going against the Indians with his bowling, as the Indian batsman really could play the leg spin pretty well. 15 overs, 2 maidens, none for 78. And Kane Williamson 3 overs, no maiden, none for 18. And the player of the match went to Brendan McCullum for his superb double century. And it was only fitting that Brendan McCullum, after scoring a double century, that New Zealand had to win this match. Well, congratulations to New Zealand. So India down 1-1, and India continue their struggle as far as overseas test matches are concerned, because this is I think it's their 11th loss in 12 matches overseas, which is something. But well, I would really give credit to India, because this particular, as you know, this particular lineup, after the retirement of Sachin Tendulkar, Saurav Ganguly and Rahul Dravid and Lakshman, have left a huge hole, and this is the young brigade which is taking over. So as I said, one has to give time to this Indian team to really flower. I mean, they are right now like a flower. I mean, they have to become a flower in full bloom. So right now it's the seeds being sowed for the flower to bloom for India, and that's what precisely was that. That is how I take it, and I think this Indian team, this young brigade, is definitely doing the work, because I mean the way these Indian bowlers bowled, as I said, Dhoni definitely said that he has never seen such a spell of bowling from the Indians, especially when on a wicket which was not really giving much assistance to the bowlers. It was only a matter of being pretty disciplined as far as bowling is concerned, changing the line and keeping the ball full and allowing the ball to do the rest, and force the batsman to make mistakes. And that's what precisely the Indian bowlers did. Mohammad Shami, Zahir Khan, and Ishan Sharma, and that's the reason they bowled out New Zealand for 102, and India got themselves a chance to go. Now, one thing that I would like to talk about here is I would like to talk about the approach that Mahendra Singh Dhoni had. Now, whether that was the right approach, because one is that one should understand one thing here, that there were 2 full days for India, so time was not a constraint at all. One does not know what was the weather forecast on the final day, but one thing that I can tell you, that if the weather forecast was not so bad, I was a bit surprised when the counter punching started between Dhoni and with Jadeja starting the counter punching, because I had a feeling that if India had probably stayed there, in fact Dhoni and Jadeja just seen off the new ball and waited for the ball to become old, and then tackle the bowlers, because there was nothing much in the pitch that was happening, and also the spinners, then probably it was a different ball game. But well, as Dhoni said, that's the precise reason that India actually finished a bit close as far as the target was concerned. Well, nothing to take away from Mahendra Singh Dhoni, because Mahendra Singh Dhoni is a very, very intelligent captain. But this is my personal opinion, that I was a bit thinking that with 2 days, why not Dhoni and Jadeja just see off the new ball and then get on to the old ball, and then they would definitely get an opportunity to play the pace bowlers and the spinners with the ball being old, and things could be done. But it could be the other way around. I mean, probably trying to defend the balls, probably India might have lost the wickets. But ifs and buts are always there in cricket, there's no doubt about that. But one thought probably that the only reason that I was thinking about that is because there were 2 full days left in the match, so probably they could bide their time. If time was not a constraint, probably this was the final day, then I could have understood. But India, in fact New Zealand, are winning with 1 day to spare in this particular test match, and well, definitely it came as a surprise for me when the counter punching started with Jadeja and Dhoni. Well, I don't know, dear friends and subscribers, what you feel about it. I would definitely like to have your take and see what you come up with. What are your comments on what I say? Because the only reason that I say that is because time was not a constraint at all. We had all the time. Whether that approach would have helped India, one does not know. Probably, but again, it also boils down to whether Dhoni and Jadeja could have seen off the new ball, and with the new ball, definitely the New Zealand bowlers were looking menacing, and probably Dhoni would have been prompted after seeing that two quick wickets fell once the new ball was taken. Probably that was the reason Dhoni actually took this aggressive approach and endorsed what Ravindra Jadeja did to New Zealand's bowling. Well, as I said, we can always talk about it and discuss about it, but cricket, as I said, has a lots of ifs and buts. But I personally thought that India could have seen off the new ball and probably thought, well, it's all over. So the first test match is over, but India has a lot of positives to come out of it. As I said, one is the young brigade is doing very well, because first they went to South Africa, even though they lost, but they really put their best foot forward. Now again, there's more and more learning going on as far as overseas tours are concerned for India, with the young brigade really shaping up well. And the good thing to be seeing is that with a pitch not really affording much in this particular match, I thought the Indian bowlers, especially Mohammad Shami, Ishan Sharma, and Zahir Khan bowled splendidly, and then Shikar Dhawan coming up with that knock. You could have not had a better time for Shikar Dhawan to come and play such an innings, and that was the reason India ran New Zealand very close. The other thing that one could talk about is that whether Ravichandran Ashwin, if he would have been included, what would have been the outcome? Well, it's pretty late to say anything, because it's all done and dusted. One has to see what is India's approach in the second test match, whether Ravichandran Ashwin will come in, because Ravindra Jadeja, even though he took wickets, but his fielding was a real asset. Ravichandran Ashwin, one thing I would have to say, that is a good slip fielder, no doubt about it. But definitely one can say that Ravindra Jadejas is a much better fielder. In fact, he's a brilliant fielder as far as fielding is concerned. Definitely better than Ashwin, no doubt about that. But well, dear fans and subscribers, there's nothing else to add. With my congratulations to New Zealand for winning the first Test match by 40 runs. But what a Test match we had! A match definitely turned on its head by the Indian seamers, and then finally the match really getting interesting and going all the way down to total excitement here at Eden Park in Auckland. That's it from me, your host Ram, for the cricket show for today. See you all tomorrow. Until then, it's goodbye and have a great day, dear friends and subscribers. Thank you.